What's going on? OTG guy here. It's bright and sunny today where I'm at, so I'm gonna take this time to talk about solar. So y'all go ahead, like, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about solar today. Um, Basically, solar panels provide what's called DC power, direct current power, same as your car battery. Um, your household appliances and things like that, TVs, laptops, phone chargers, um, all of the things in your house take what's called AC, which is alternating current. Um, Now, to give you an idea about that, um, I did a test. I have a small power bank, which is just a couple of batteries. They provide a total of 16 amp hours. Had a power outage, and I ran a TV. It was a smaller TV, 19-inch, flat screen. Um, but I ran a TV, a box fan, and a cell phone charger off of it. No problems. Those totaled about 0.3 amps an hour. So basically, I could run those for about 3 hours before they would use up 1 amp. Now with solar, if you're looking to do like off the grid, or something like that, then you need to take into consideration how much power you're actually going to be using, and all of the stuff that you're going to need to power. Now, the average home in the United States runs about 900 kilowatts a month, which basically breaks down to about a little over 4,000 amps in a month. Sounds like a lot, I know, but solar, if you have a 1,000 watt solar panel system rated at 12 volts, you're going to be producing, at your best, you're going to be producing about 15,000 amps in a month. So even if it's like cloudy and you're only getting 15 days, you're going to be still producing about 7,000 amps, 7 to 8,000 amps per month, which is still going to be more than what the average household uses. But with solar, things that you have to look at, like I said, you have to take into consideration what you're going to power, and things like that. You also need to take into consideration where you live. Where I live at, we get a pretty decent amount of sun. We don't usually go more than 3 days, 4 days without sun. If it's raining or something like that, it never really goes more than about 3 days. So you want to take all of that into consideration when thinking about doing solar. Now, something else that you got to take into consideration is cost. A lot of people think that it costs so much money to have a solar power system for their house. Yeah, it can be a nice little chunk to get started with everything. I'm gonna say on average, about $3,000 to $4,000, and that's everything. That's your power bank. That's your solar panels. That is everything. So we'll say $4,000, and that's for a system that's gonna be enough to power your house, your washer and dryer, your stove, microwave, everything. TVs, chargers, everything. So, when you break that down, the average household is gonna pay at least $100 a month in an electric bill. So basically, after about 2 years, 3 years max, the solar panel system will pay for itself. Now, the good thing is, if you get brand new solar stuff, everything, battery banks, all of it, you're looking at least 25 years average that the stuff is good for. So, you know, then you factor in, say 20 years, you know, of power that you'll be receiving, that you won't have any bill at all. So you take the cost, you know, you say $4,000. Average home is paying about $100 a month. So you figure about $1,200 a year. I'd say probably the average is a little bit higher than that, but we'll just use it as 100. So $1,200. So again, after 3 years, your solar panel will pay for itself in power. So you're still looking at 22 years. Now, what's 22 times $1,200? You know, you're looking at 28, 24,000, something like that. I can't think right now, but yeah, you know, you're looking at over $20,000 that you're saving in that time frame. And then again, you know, if you were to invest in a whole new solar system again, well, you've saved up $20,000 because you haven't had to pay electricity for those years. So then you could get higher quality stuff, you know, stuff that'll last 40 years, you know, and spend $2,000 more. So you're still looking at, you know, $14,000 that you've saved. And, you know, it's overall, it's cheap in the long run, very cheap. Good thing about solar is you don't have to buy everything at once. If you can put $150 back each month, well, I mean, you can pick up a solar panel for about $100. 100-watt solar panel rated at 12 volts, which is what I'm kind of basing a lot of this stuff off of. You know, you get 10 of those, you got a 1,000-watt solar system. Well, that's $1,000. You can pick one up on eBay, monocrystalline, 100-watt solar panel rated at 12 volts. You know, it's pretty cheap, and you can buy a solar panel at a time. Now, we're gonna talk also a little bit about how it works, how it's set up. What you would do is you would get your solar panels, the amount that you feel is necessary to power everything in your house. Those solar panels have to run into what's called a charge controller. That charge controller then runs to your battery bank. What that charge controller does is it regulates the charge to the batteries. So if your batteries are full and it continues to charge, then what it'll do is it'll damage the battery. It could cause it to, you know, crack, blow up, anything, you know, it can be very bad. So what that charge controller does is it regulates the charge to that battery. Once it goes to the battery, then you have to change it from DC to AC. Like I mentioned, solar panels, they provide direct current power. The appliances in your house run off alternating current. So that's when an inverter comes in. And your inverter, again, is going to be based off of the needs for your house and things like that. But you would then run it from the battery to the inverter. And depending on how it's done, some people will run something like that into a breaker box that's good for solar panels and things like that. And some people will just run it straight to like a inverter that you would buy like Harbor Freight or something like that. Again, it just kind of depends on what you're powering and, you know, the type of outlets and things like that. But it really is, it's that simple, people. It's, you know, again, you spend $3,000-$4,000 and you don't have an electric bill for 20 years. It's really it's an awesome thing. But again, this is just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of how solar works, benefits of it. You know, the biggest downfall is, again, if you live in an area that doesn't get a whole lot of sun, or you know, maybe the days are you have shorter days or something. You know, for example, you know, some states are going to be sunnier. You know, further out west, you know, a lot of people are doing it out west because you know, it stays, the sun is out. It's intense. Where I live at, again, we get about 8 hours of good sunlight. I'll say 10 to 12 hours of sunlight period, but about 7 to 8 of good sunlight. And I'm basing all of this off of, you know, where I live at. So I mean, it's a really good thing. But if y'all have any questions, comment below. I'll do another video going into details about it, maybe show y'all my little power bank, how it works, things like that. But again, like, subscribe, share, turn your notifications on, and I'll see y'all later.